Hi. Hi from me, Juliet, at Healing Water Sanctuary in Glastonbury. And so it's hard for me to start these videos because it's a kind of shift from being in my own space to suddenly relate to a wider world. And afterwards I look at them and I go, oh no, why did I say that or do that or look like that? So it's for me, it's about trying to show up and be present and to connect even when I'm feeling a bit insecure and like, how can I do that? So here I am again. Big breath. So I imagine that you are having a Christmas celebration of some kind, or choosing perhaps to have some time alone. This year I've chosen to have some time alone. In my family I have 4 children and 2 grandchildren, and this year they've all gone off in their different directions to be with other family and partners and so on. So I'm really enjoying this time of peace, great peace, and a time to connect with myself really. And I've spent the day doing probably what you might think really a bit crazy. I've been cleaning my house from top to bottom, and it's so wonderful to actually have the space when it's quiet and there are no pressing urgencies for doing anything else, and just to have that real time to reflect and connect with myself. And I'm about to go after Christmas on a big trip to Israel to study with Thomas Hübel. Hopefully I've pronounced his name correctly. Sorry Thomas if you're hearing this and I've got it wrong. And I've been promoting him because he's been talking a lot about collective trauma, and I was watching the Collective Trauma Summit and I got this feeling like I have got to go and study with him, because he's holding the peace that's so important for us to be able to heal. And today we have a day of celebration, and it's all about being with families or friends and relationships. And I don't know who's watching, but hi for watching. I don't imagine many of you will at this point. Christmas is meant to be all about connection and happiness and friends and relationships and goodwill and joy. But how many of us actually find it a really, really hard time? And we set off to try and do this thing of being with our families and being happy, but actually end up having a really difficult and challenging and painful and conflicted day. I know that happens for a lot of people, and it certainly happened for me a lot. And hi, Carl. I know that Thomas Hübler says that relationship is fundamental, the fundamental piece in healing our planetary trauma, and that until we can heal our relationships, then we're in a really difficult position, because human beings belong to each other and need each other to feel safe and to co-regulate. And it's really tragic on these days when we're trying to get together and do that and be in relationship, that then it doesn't work and we feel disconnected and in pain. So it's great that we're doing it, that we're all connecting, and I'm just like really sending a prayer out today to everyone that I love and to anyone else, that it is a good day for you and that you do find some connection and relationship, and you're not sitting in that fragmented, painful part of yourself. And I think as long as we're separating out and thinking, okay, it's that person's fault that this thing is happening, if only they got their act together, or they hurt me 10 years ago, so I'm not going to speak to them, I'm not giving them a present, or they're a loser, or they voted Tory, or they don't care about people. As long as we're in this kind of judgmental thing and we're sitting with our own pain and then projecting out there that it's somebody else's fault that things are wrong, then we are ourselves in separation and fragmentation and in pain, because we can only heal that pain when we really begin to relate and have begin to build a deep compassion and understanding about why people would be doing the things that they're doing, that seems to be that they're doing things deliberately to cause us pain. But from their side, they probably perceive that we're doing things that cause them pain. And we're in a massively challenging and conflicted world at the moment. And I'm really grateful today to actually not be spending tons of money on presents or plastic packaged foods to enjoy, or eating turkeys or any of those things. And I'm saying that without judgment, but it's a great relief to me that I'm actually sitting in this position of just having a quiet time to connect with myself and reflect. And that when we can sit and connect with ourselves, that's the first step to actually beginning to have a much safer connection with each other. Because as long as we're disconnected and fragmented in ourselves, and we're splitting off this shadow part of ourselves and sending it out, and not owning the part in ourselves where we're hurting, then we can never really have that compassion for other people. So where am I going with this? Where am I going? I have so many thoughts. I sit and I'm meditating and have so many things coming up that I want to share. And I just got a really big piece this morning about the whole thing with that. There's this, for many people, they're unhappy because there's a Tory landslide, and that Boris Johnson is about to fly off to a Caribbean island to celebrate New Year, and yet he has got the people's vote at a time when there's massive poverty and homelessness here in Britain. So there's that. And there's a massive piece that Australia's burning. And I said to myself I wouldn't say any of these things if I made a video, but here I am saying it. So how is it that the whole of Australia can be burning, and the Prime Minister is saying that there isn't a climate issue, and he's not going to give supplies to the firefighters to help put the fires out? How is it that we can be voting for a Tory government that's not representing our needs and not support the policies that would really be helping people? How are these things happening? And I think many people are in this place of utter confusion and pain, that we are on such a critical knife edge for the existence of our planet at this point in time. And now I can feel the emotion rising. It's like I can't be doing superficiality at this moment. I have to be real as much as I can be, and search for my own integration. It's like, how can I make a difference in the world when I see that we are in this immensely difficult and challenging time, and it's requiring every one of us to really reach deep within ourselves, and really to connect deep with ourselves in relationship to ourselves, and then reach deep to other people and connect in a way that's not fragmenting and not splitting off and not in judgment, that together we can begin to work and to build the connections. We have all the solutions, we have all the technologies that will solve the planetary crisis that we're in. But what we need, and scientists have said the same things, what we need, it's not the technology, it's not the solutions, but we need this peace within ourselves that at this moment that we're missing, that is meaning that we're making the wrong choices and we're not supporting the right choices, and that we're going down in flames at this point in time. And Thomas Hübler, and this is why I really have to go and study with him, because I'm hoping in this process that I will get another piece of understanding, that I can really take my work further and support more positive change happening. But Thomas Hübler talks about the massive dissociation that's happening on the planet at the moment, because we are all so completely in shock. We are so completely numbed out with the torrent of terrifying things that are happening around us, that the only thing we can do is to go into dissociation and disconnection and not address these really, really important issues. So this is also why I'm focusing on trauma healing. Throughout my life, I've done many different things, lots of different skills, and many things that I delight in very much connected with the natural world, but I'm focusing my energy these last years of my life, I'm 68, I think 68 or 67, on doing what I can to make a change on the planet, to really strengthen myself and crystallize my understanding and my spiritual growth in a way that can really make a difference to the planet, make a difference to our children, make a difference to our communities. And I have 2 grandchildren. I'm sure many of you either have grandchildren or will be having grandchildren, and that this is what we're leaving them. We have to show up. We have to show up in whatever way we can to make a difference on the planet. So today, with your families, with each other, let's really show up for each other. Let's really be, as much as we can be, in our authenticity, not making judgments, not being attacking, not being in our disconnection, but to really witness each other and see the pain that we're all in, and do what we can in whatever small way to just say, I see you, I hear you, I don't judge you, I'm willing to support you. So that's my prayer. That's my prayer for the day. And I am beautifully blessed today because the weather is incredible. The birds are singing around me. And there's such a depth of stillness that I just want to drop into this moment and be in that really deep silence and connection. And I just hope that I get to Israel. I'm a bit scared about going there. And yeah, it's been a big thing for me to be able to go there and to be able to pull everything together to make that happen. So the other thing I wanted to say was thank you to every single person that's been connected in any way with the work that I've done over the last year and over the years before that, whether you've come to Healing Waters for retreats or sanctuaries, whether you've brought groups, whether you've come for healing work with me, whether you've been on my trainings, whether you've recommended someone to come and stay with me or to work for me or to do healing work with me, or any of those things, any way that you've shown up in my life over the last year and beforehand, a huge thank you in my heart to you for doing that and supporting in whatever way that you've been able to. Caroline, thank you. Yeah, massive thank you to you. And I just really hope that I can carry on showing up for everyone as well. And one thing that I did this morning was to send a gift, some money, to a man in India who's he was homeless. He was picked off the streets and supported, and now he's getting money together for to build an orphanage, and is literally finding children just lying under railway bridges and small babies and things like that, and he's trying to build an orphanage. And he sent me a message and said, please can you send me something for Christmas for the children? So I had great joy this morning in doing that, to send that money to him, and I will be fundraising for him in the near future together with some other people to help build that orphanage. And the last thing I want to say, I think, was, you know, what touched my heart from him was that although he's in dire poverty, that he's sending me blessings and prayers to support my life today. And I was really touched many years ago when I went to Eritrea in 1984, doing some famine relief work, and I was on in a refugee camp, and that was at the time of the really terrible famine, where, a bit like we're seeing now in Yemen, with children in a terrible, terrible situation on the edge of life and death. And one of the mothers of these children came up to me and asked me, what are you doing here? Why have you come? we were delivering wheat that had been collected. It was called the Wheat to the Starving campaign. And at that moment, I just burst into tears, and I said I had to come because I couldn't bear the pain in my heart at witnessing what everyone's going through here in Eritrea. And she took me in her arms and held me as I cried. And she said, God is with us. We will survive. And I was so touched. That really changed my life, that message from this woman that was in this terrible situation of witnessing her children dying from famine, and yet she had the compassion to hold me in that moment. So my prayer today as well is that I hope that we don't have to get to such dire situations ourselves before we can feel that compassion and that connection for each other, and that we can start doing that now, that we can know in this moment that life is with us, the enormous intelligence which is life, that divine spark that is for each one of us, that is taking our life forward, that soul connection, that soul energy that wanted to incarnate into these bodies that we find that we're in, that spark, that energy is with us. God is with us. And we will survive. And we have this incredible capacity to do this. So this is what I aim to do when I'm working with people, is to help each one of us find our connection to ourselves and that spark and that movement forward within ourselves to take our lives into its path of destiny, into fulfillment and gratitude, that we can really work together, help each other, co-regulate, and make this beautiful planet heaven on earth. Because, hi Penny, there's absolutely no reason why this planet cannot be completely thriving and abundant and a heaven for all of us. And it just needs for each one of us to show up for ourselves, to do our personal healing. When we do our personal healing, then our families immediately start to heal just by that ripple effect, because we're in a better relationship with each other. We're in a better relationship with ourselves. We then become in a better relationship with our families, that become in a better relationship with other families. And there's an incredible shift as this connection happens, and we start to heal the fragmentation, we start to heal the breaking down of our relationships. So please show up for yourself today. Sending you all my love. I'm really looking forward to seeing many of you in the coming year. I'm really looking forward to being able to show up for you and myself a lot more as I heal myself and I can become more conscious. I can do that more. So let's just take a moment of stillness on this beautiful day. Take a breath together. Just feeling your strength and your power and your motivation towards love. And have a wonderful day, a wonderful Christmas. Bye. Bye. Thank you for your lovely messages. Bye.